X Division has always been pretty exciting, but there's just, I don't know. I have a hard time getting excited and setting aside time to watch TNA.
Right. Yeah, I think that's the case with a lot of people. You could blame it on what you want, blame it on being the second WCW, blame it on any of those factors, but I definitely agree with you on that aspect. Final one of the wrestling questions here. One guy to get in the ring with. Anyone, past or present, who would it be?
Shawn Michaels, because he's the guy that made me want to get in the ring and be a wrestler. He was the guy that, I would jump off my bookshelf as a kid and drop an elbow onto my bed while listening to his theme music. And I was just he was the guy that made me want to watch wrestling. And, he just he can work with anybody and he can make them look incredible, which I think is one of the primary reasons why he's largely considered to be the greatest of all time. And it's because he can go in there with anybody from The Undertaker to Shelton Benjamin to Rey Mysterio to Triple H or, Kurt Angle and Jericho and anybody. He can go in there with anybody and he will get an incredible match out of them. He goes in there. He made Hogan look phenomenal at SummerSlam 2005. Yep. When Hogan, Hogan, he can barely move now, but back then, I'm sure he was still hurt. I'm sure Hogan's been in pain for a long, long time, but Shawn Michaels made him look like Hogan of 1987.
Yes, he did.
Body slamming Andre the Giant Hogan.
Yeah, and I love the guys who aren't afraid to put somebody else over.
Yeah, Shawn, especially since he came back, you can almost see it in his wrestling that he was having more fun out there, and it's when you're having. That's why we get in the business, is because it's fun, and he just had. You could tell he was having so much fun out there, but at the same time, you could tell that he took himself so seriously when he was in that ring. And he just made everybody look as good as anybody has ever made them look.
Absolutely. 100%. Now, I got a lot of wrestling questions off Twitter and stuff, and I think we've covered a lot of those. But AJ Kirsch, he's a lot deeper than that. He has more depth than that. You see, one day I was just trudging along Twitter. I follow a lot of people, and, I see this tweet that says, "Living easy, loving free." And I'm saying to myself, wait a second. Those are the lyrics to Highway to Hell. And you see, AJ Kirsch, I'm a diehard AC/DC fan, diehard. And
I have to be also a diehard AC/DC fan.
And I'm like, wait a second, that works out perfectly. So I do some research on AJ Kirsch. I ask him to do the interview. I go to his YouTube page, and I see he's extended Money Made off the Black Ice album, which Money Made also happens to be my favorite song off the Black Ice album.
Oh, it's awesome.
Is AC/DC your favorite band? And you want to talk about a little bit why?
My number one favorite band ever is AC/DC, and here's why. It's because as I was in a blues phase a year ago or something, and the more I listen to the blues and then the more I listen to AC/DC, I see how just blues infused AC/DC is.
Absolutely.
And there's just nothing really stirs my soul like some damn good blues. And so when I hear songs like Money Made and, Highway to Hell or Rock and Roll Train or Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution or any of those, I'm like, man, the blues is just dripping off this song. And it moves me in a way that nothing else ever has and may never will.
Bon Scott or Brian Johnson?
Ooh, don't make me choose.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta say Brian Johnson, and I'm a little reluctant to do it, but the reason is because if a lead singer in a band dies, it takes a miracle for that band to find somebody else and continue rocking. And not only did AC/DC do it, but they came back with the second greatest selling record of all time with Back in Black.
Absolutely.
And to nobody, it's like the Stone Cold character. Just Steve Austin could have been Stone Cold. Nobody else could have done it. And only Brian Johnson could have taken the reins of AC/DC and taken them to heights that they had never seen before and have made them one of the greatest legends in the history of rock and roll.
Well, A.J. Kirsch, you're in a very special group of company now, because about a month and a half ago, I actually had the privilege to interview Dave Evans, who was the original lead singer of AC/DC. So now indirectly, you're connected to AC/DC. So,
That's pretty freaking cool. I'm grinning ear to ear right now. That is awesome.
Do you play an instrument?
I don't, but actually I sing.
You sing?
I do
really?
sing.
Really? Have you been in any bands?
I have, yeah. About 2 years ago, I was in a band called Soul Pie, and we were like Red Hot Chili Peppers, like Audio Slave, kind of funky rock, hard rock type of band. You can usually find me in one of the karaoke bars here in the San Francisco Bay Area from time to time.
That is awesome.
Thanks. I'm pretty shameless about it too.
You know what? I'm a performer on stage too. You have to be shameless. You have to be, because if you have shame, you're not going to do anything.
Yeah, if you don't go balls out, then the crowd's going to be able to tell, and they're not going to want to like rock along right along with you.
I can't even explain how much I'm grinning eye to eye right now, ear to ear right now, because those are the exact words I've used myself too, and I'm glad that I'm following you on Twitter, AJ, because now we got this connection going on.
If I got any gigs coming up, right, as far as singing is concerned, the whole Twitter world will know about it.
Awesome. What about professional sports? This is a sports website. Professional sports, who are your teams you root for?
Well, that's a little bit of a sensitive subject right now, because the Niners, who should have torn through the Arizona Cardinals, lost today. And I did a show earlier today, a charity show for All Pro Wrestling, benefiting Thunder Road Adolescent Treatment Center. And I remember checking my phone, and my heart jumped up in my throat when I saw that the Niners had lost.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucked. But the good news is my roommate's a Raider fan, and they got absolutely slaughtered by the Packers today.
That's very clear. Are you a San Francisco Giants fan as well?
Yeah.
So you got your World Series ring.
World Series a couple years ago.
You got your World Series ring. Good stuff. Yeah. As a New York Giants fan, your 49ers that was a fantastic football game.
That was a damn good game.
A few weeks back, but that's a little thing to go into there. So A.J. Kirsch is diverse human being, professional wrestler, aspiring rock star. Quickly, A.J., as we wrap up here, 5 years from now, what do you see yourself doing?
Let's see, 5 years from now, that's going to be what? Coming up on WrestleMania 33?
There you go.
So 5 years from now, let's see, it's the end of December. 5 years from now, I hope to be signed by the WWE, and I hope to have a spot on the WrestleMania 33 card. Hopefully a main event, but...
Main eventing against Zack Ryder, of course, right?
Yeah, against Zack Ryder, exactly. For the Internet Championship at that time will be even bigger than the WWE Championship.
Right. Well, you'll have to win the 64-man Battle Royal in the back of Zack's house. So
yeah, the Royal Rumble will be 64 people by then. and then if I beat Zack Ryder, all of his followers become my followers on Twitter.
And very quickly here, this is just a personal question I've always wondered. Have you been in any Battle Royals? Have you participated in Battle Royals?
Oh yeah, Battle Royals are a blast.
How are those booked? Like how do you go about in ring and determining who's eliminated?
It's usually this guy's gonna win, and everybody else except for you three just go out there and have some fun.
That's awesome.
And so except for the guys that are left once there's a little bit of space left in the ring, those guys may plan a little something, or they may have a little bit more fun. But they're at the end of the show tonight. Actually, I was in the match that preceded it, and I got my ass kicked. So I wasn't in that battle royal, but it's always fun just because all those guys. So it's just fun to see who's working with who and who does what to who. And it's always fun to see the young guys get the crap kicked out of them too. They get chopped up to hell.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is by far one of my most fun interviews. I got to tell you that. AJ, can't really thank you enough. This absolutely great interview, and I hope that you guys can see that not only is this man talented, but he's got a heck of a personality as well. So, AJ, really appreciate you joining Sports Full Circle for the day.
Hey, man, it was. Thank you for all those kind words, and it was my pleasure, man. I had a really good time. So, thank you for having me.
And don't forget to check out AJ on Twitter at AJ Kirsch. That's twitter.com/AJ Kirsch, facebook.com/AJ Kirsch fan, and youtube.com/I am AJ Kirsch.